Purple dragon nettle. Man, it is doing so well this year. My goodness, it's so pretty. I mean, I notice how pretty it is, but when I watched my video from yesterday, then I really noticed how pretty it was. The last couple years, it hasn't been this, I don't know, fluffy. Usually the shrubs or grubs with a G, grubs. Usually the grubs eat it. But this year I did something different. So I save all of my eggshells and grind them up in a blender. And this year I put them out in my flower garden. Of course, not all of the flowers in my garden take extra calcium. Some don't really like it. And I think purple dragon nettle is one of them that doesn't really like it. So that was a whoopsie moment. But the grubs, I don't think they like it either. So they got a little extra calcium and the grubs are not eating them. So now I have fluffy looking purple dragon nettle. It makes me happy. So that's not why I'm doing this video. That's not why I'm starting this. I just happen to be out in my yard, again, walking around barefoot, trying to get that grounding in to help with my healing. Yesterday and the day before were the first 2 days that I had done some grounding. And today I feel a lot better. So I don't know if it's just that, I mean, obviously the days are passing by and I'm doing a little bit better. You know, every day post-surgery is supposed to be a little bit better. So maybe that's why, but I don't know. It's very possible that connecting your body to the earth really does promote and encourage healing. I was watching the news earlier and, you know, there's a lot of discussion about Kyle Busch and the unexpected passing away of him. And man, you look at his wife. I don't know how old she is, but Kyle was only, 41? So his wife can't be much older than that. And they have 2 young children. I did not know that they used IVF to build their family. I don't know if that was for both children or just one. Ooh, here we go. But it connected with me. Well, obviously it would connect with me because my husband and I are doing IVF. I mentioned that we have struggled with infertility for quite a few years. I really don't even know how many years we've been struggling with infertility. I have no idea. We didn't really discover any of this when we went to our very first fertility clinic here in Nebraska. That's when we found out that we had undiagnosed infertility. That still makes no sense to me. I don't know. But I guess there are things out there that we just haven't quite figured out. I'm going to get myself some pillows here. There we go. Ah, yes, much easier. I need to get a selfie stick. I really do. I bought this GoPro harness thing, and I got the little cell phone adapter. And, it's fine, but it's not great. So, I don't know. But for walking with Max, I have to have 2 hands. I absolutely have to have 2 hands. So I really need something that's hands-free. I was hoping to find a little clippy thing that goes on my visor and it would just record the videos for me. But I don't know. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. But for right now, I've got this harness thing that I'm going to use, or I have to hold the phone like I am now to do a recording. Okay, so back on track. I did not know that the Bushes had used IVF to help build their family, and they also have a nonprofit organization where they give out IVF grants 3 times a year to deserving couples or families. And I just think that's absolutely amazing. Their IVF grant is not something that I would qualify for because I believe the grant needs to be connected to, there's like 3 facilities. I'm not even really sure like where they're at, but you needed to have gone to that clinic, had this diagnosis of infertility, and then you would apply for the application to get the grant. And so so it's connected to those facilities. Nonetheless, I still think it is really, really amazing. There's not enough support for IVF in this world. My opinion, of course. I wish there was more support for it, but I have a deeper passion for figuring out the root cause of why you have infertility. Like, what is it that's causing it? If you know what it is, endometriosis, PCOS, which Dr. Kiltz says is plant-caused ovarian cysts. That's right. That's his little saying. And he might be right. Maybe plants really do cause a lot of harm to us as females and our reproductive system. I don't know. The health coaching class that I took did talk a lot about plants, but it's not for everybody. You got to really listen to your body. I think that's the main thing. Listen to your body. Give your body what it needs. If you're ingesting something that's hurting you or harming you, then maybe stop doing that. So I don't know. I just wish that there was more support for IVF, for families who want to have a family, want to grow a family, or even just in my case, like start a family. I wish it wasn't so expensive. I understand like the technology and the medical care and all of the things that go with it is fairly extensive. So I can understand why it can be more expensive. But just for example, for anybody that maybe hasn't looked into fertility treatments, per my research, an average cycle can be anywhere around like $20,000, which is a lot. And for us, we had to start asking the questions like, how many times can we afford this? If it doesn't work the first time, are we going to have to do it again? Are there any discounts that go with this? Are there any grants that go with this? Is there any way we can try to find some help? Insurance isn't really super helpful. So we have some coverage now through my husband's insurance, but it's still not super great. There's a lot of things that I've gone through that aren't even being covered yet. So I don't know. But we decided to, after being rejected from one facility, which I'll talk about that, but we no longer qualify to go to or be a patient with the original fertility clinic that we went to. So we then switched over to a clinic called CNY. C as in cat, N as in Nancy, Y, CNY Fertility. Dr. Robert Kiltz is the owner and founder of that particular clinic. And they do offer their services at a much more reasonable price. Again, it's still expensive, but they do offer it at more reasonable prices. However, you also have to realize, if you're going to be a patient at CNY Fertility, you really have to advocate for yourself. You really have to do a lot of research. The staff that work there are very intelligent. They're very smart. They're very savvy. Obviously, this is a specialty clinic for fertility needs, so they do really know what they're doing. But due to the high volume of patience that they have and how quickly they have to move through things, you're only going to get an answer to or a protocol assigned to you that can be semi cookie cutterish. So you have to advocate for yourself. You have to ask a lot of questions. If you want to challenge something, you can challenge something. But just feel empowered to do your own research, get more information, and be able to ask the questions that you don't think you know you can ask. I think that's where a lot of my issues come into play is people are like, "Oh, do you have any questions?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't I don't know. Um, I really don't know because I don't even know what to ask. I'm just overwhelmed, I think is where it comes into play. But anyway, but IVF is not cheap. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Bushes and the organization that they've created and their generosity to help people in my situation with infertility because it is very expensive. And I think I read on their website that their grants they give out, like I said, 3 times a year. And I think it's like maybe up to $20,000. So that's pretty substantial. And that can really greatly help someone. So my gratitude thought for today is to say thank you to Kyle Busch and his wife Samantha for what they do in that community. I think it's pretty amazing, and I know it's really expensive, but what little bit you can do really can help people, and more importantly, it changes people's lives. So I'm very saddened to hear about what happened to Kyle, and I feel a very heavy heart for his wife and his children. No one deserves to lose their husband or their dad at such an early phase in this life. So I wish them well, and I thank them very much for what they do for women like me.